Hi, this is Stacey. I'm here with you today to scare the living out of you. We're going to talk about a few books that are incredibly scary, and scary for different reasons. The first book is a classic, and it may scare you because you haven't seen it since high school, and it's Fahrenheit 451 by Ray Bradbury. It's dystopian, and everyone probably already knows what it's about, but it's very relevant to today and censorship and banning of books. So I suggest picking this up again and giving it a great, it won't even take you a few hours to get through, and don't watch the latest film because that was a nightmare. Okay, so that was scary too. But I highly recommend Ray Bradbury's Fahrenheit 451, and I'm sure it's still banned in several other schools, etc., which makes it even more of a compelling read. Okay, let's go Gothic. Rebecca by Daphne du Maurier. This is a wonderful book. It's really creepy in that Gothic way. You're afraid at every step. And even though the film that came out like in the 40s or something isn't an exact depiction, I would say that you could definitely watch the film afterwards and feel some type of gratification. So I highly recommend also revisiting Rebecca by Daphne du Maurier. Frankenstein is not scary. It is an excellent book that everyone should read, and there's a volcano involved with the writing of the book. And if you join me in an episode to be filmed much later, I will talk to you about this volcano, and I will talk to you about Mary Shelley and the great time she had over the summer writing this with some very famous other people. But otherwise, you should read it because it's great literature. Some say it's the first feminist novel, but everyone says they're a first to something, so we don't listen to that. Frankenstein by Mary Shelley, not scary, but for some reason people think it is. Now we get into super scary, creepy category. I love Flannery O'Connor. I've said that repeatedly. But her collection, A Good Man is Hard to Find, is incredibly creepy, especially the first book, The Misfit. So I'm going to save and not say anything more about The Misfit because you need to read it. So when you come back next time, we can talk about why this book is so incredibly pan-genre. Not only is it scary, but it's a book that you need to read when you feel a certain way. So put a bookmark there, but go ahead and find A Good Man is Hard to Find by Flannery O'Connor. You will not be disappointed. This book scared me so badly that there is a place in this book where it got so incredibly creepy that I had to lay the book on my bed and just push it away because I thought the evil was going to just ooze out. I'm talking about Kate in East of Eden. This story is based on the biblical tale of Cain and Abel. It's written by John Steinbeck. It is so luscious and beautiful. Every page is crafted so well, and Steinbeck actually had a bookcase carved for the book out of wood to give to someone who was very influential in his life. And he inscribed the word Timshel, which is Hebrew for thou mayest, which means everyone has a choice. It's up to you. Free will and second chances, and it is also a theme throughout the book. But let me tell you, there is a character in here, and her name is Kate, and she has these sharp little pointy teeth. She is so incredibly evil that you almost feel like you got to use that antibacterial stuff after you're done reading about her because she is so vile. Scarier than the Wicked Witch of the West. Just the scariest person, woman, man, whatever genre in between, in literature, in this book. And I actually have 2 copies, so if anyone wants to borrow, let me know. But this one's been through the ringer, as you can plainly see. But I love Penguin. Okay. My last 2 recommendations have to do with this lovely pin I have on my head, which says Harry Potter 20th Anniversary. Last year, Harry Potter celebrated 20 years of being with us. It's really hard to believe. But 2 books out of the Harry Potter series are super scary. They're all a little, but these kind of cut through that YA young adult scary to almost Kate scary, but not really. So the first one is Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire. There is a scene in this book where you're in a labyrinth made of those really high shrubs like in English gardens, and what happens is they start to come alive and to start to suck in the people who are caught in them, and it's very scary. Lastly, Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows. Now, I have a better ending than J.K. Rowling for this book, but I forgive her since she's the most amazing writer living today, or one of. When you go through each chapter in this book, it's almost like she's revealing levels of evil like Dante's Inferno. It's remarkable how she does this, not only through the storytelling, but through certain characters. Between Nangini and Bellatrix and Mrs. Umbridge, I mean, the ugly people are spawning. It's amazingly written, now that's a new word. It's an amazingly written book. It's for adults, it's for children. It tells the classic story of man versus man versus himself, man versus nature, man versus society. It's all in there. And it's also really, really stressful. But it's a lot of fun too. So I think that if you want a well-rounded, I'm scared, and I want a challenge, then I would go ahead and make sure you have your Patronus ready to go and be ready to look for a few Horcruxes and wait for it, because the Deathly Hallows will be revealed, and who knows what's next for Harry. This is Stacey. Let me know below your recommendations for scary books or anything else that you think is appropriate for autumn or Halloween or just this time of year. Somehow it feels like this is the time of year where we're really going to kick up our reading. So I hope you'll let me know, and I'll see you next time.